Let's begin by queering up breaking news. DNC has the most unique roll call in history and rocks LGBTQ plus community. Watch this.
With the call of the roll of the states.
Delegates, are you ready? Let me hear you.
Iowa, 40 delegates.
Dude, you gotta do it. Right now.
Georgia, 59 delegates.
Fire, get loud, another round of shots. DNC, turn out for what? Turn out for what? Hey, turn out for what?
West Virginia, 32 votes. President Donald J. Trump.
Party people, come on. DNC, party people, come on. Roll call, party people, come on. DNC, party people, come on.
The DNC shocked the nation last night. What normally is a slow, boring process, the states casting their votes for their nominee was reinvented. So being a Jersey girl, right, I knew something was happening when the governor of my home state cast her vote saying, quote, "We're from Jersey, baby, and you're not." DJ Cassidy was prominently on stage and played chart-topping tracks to represent each state as they were called. It rocked the LGBTQ plus nation. Georgia cast their votes with Atlanta's hometown rapper Lil John walking through the delegation singing his anthem, Turned Down for What, but changed the words to Turn Out for What?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, he was a season 11 contestant of Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice. Actor Sean Astin cast Indiana's votes as the arena chanted, "Rudy, Rudy, Rudy," the Oscar-nominated film about the underdog character that wins at Notre Dame. Florida and Fort Lauderdale's LGBTQ Dauphin Democrats president Alfredo Olvera was front and center as the state cast their votes. And that only started the LGBTQ plus embracement in this historic roll call. New Jersey had a trans delegate cast Harris's ballots talking about diversity. Standing with film director Spike Lee, New York's governor Kathy Hochul cast their votes saying, quote, "New York is the birthplace of Stonewall, the birthplace of the world's LGBTQ plus movement," end quote. Oregon cast their votes saying that the state proudly fights for LGBTQ rights. California Governor Gavin Newsom cast the final 482 votes, saying that the state proudly supports LGBTQ rights. DJ Cassidy and the music was a story all by itself. Songs played from 52 different artists showed off all the songs the DNC can play without getting sued. Aretha Franklin, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Prince, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, Dolly Parton, and so many more. Meanwhile, Trump's campaign has been threatened with legal action from many music performers for unauthorized use of their music. It is likely a Harris play for young voters. Meanwhile, gay Twitter went wild with Barack Obama's speech on what Donald Trump is. He definitely made a penis-sized joke. Watch this.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on.
Gay Twitter could not stop talking about him looking down at those big, beautiful hands of his. But it was Michelle Obama that delivered a knockout punch. She challenged the do something and probably brought her famous "when they go low, we go high" to a new challenge. When they go low, we fight back.
Most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. If we bankrupt a business, or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. Now, unfortunately, we know what comes next. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black. I want to know, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
Oh my God! Listen,
great.
I've got to tell you that in past years, when the DNC comes up, I've watched highlights of it, right? I've been like, oh, that is going to be so freaking boring. I'll catch the highlights later, right? But I watched day one when Kamala came out and nobody expected her to come out, and I was just gushing, right? And then Hillary came out and I was gushing. And then now here we are yesterday with day two, and it was freaking extraordinary. Now, I didn't expect for so many people to say we support LGBTQ plus rights when they were casting their votes. I was blown away by that. Plus, just the incredible people that they brought through that stage. I'm in love with Kamala's husband, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm in love with that man. I had no idea that he was so charismatic, so funny. He's up there telling the story about their first date. Their 10-year wedding anniversary is Thursday when she accepts her nomination, right? And he says that every one of their anniversary, she makes him listen to the first voicemail that he ever left her. Right? 10 years ago when he sounds corny as hell, right? And that was just one of the many highlights that were throughout the night. It was long, right? And I was like, I gotta wait for Michelle. I gotta wait for Michelle Obama, right? And Michelle turned it. Like, her pantsuit was beautiful. Her makeup looked just gorgeous. And just her speech just put something in me that I could not sleep for the next 2 hours because I was just so pumped up as to how to make sure that Kamala gets into the freaking White House. I wore my shirt, by the way. All right, everybody else, jump in. Tell me what else you guys like.
One of the things that really impressed me, seeing some of the Republican National Convention and seeing, the Democratic National Convention, the diversity is obvious. Mm-hmm. I like seeing all the diverse people that is community. Mm-hmm. When you see diversity, and the fact that the LGBT rights were so front and center was, it's really validating, especially for those of us who are older, when, the first time we ever heard a president even say LGBT was, in his inaugural speech was Barack Obama.
Wow.
He was the first one to do that. And to see, so many of the states, use LGBT rights as a reason to support this progressive ticket. It's just really gratifying.
Gives us hope too, right?
Yeah.
What do you kids think about Barack Obama and the hand gesture? Like, I thought it was a mistake initially when I heard the story, right? But then looking at it now again, that was deliberate. What do you think, Ty?
It was subtle, and that's how you get a good joke off, right? It was subtle, and it was just kind of under the surface, and if you got it, you got it, and we got it.
That man is filled to the brim with charisma. If he wasn't president, he could be a superstar actor, performer, anything like that. Speaking of superstars, I want to give a quick shout out to my personal friend, Jason Gadd, who was also pictured with Alfredo right there. Not only is he an integral part of the Dolphin Democrats of South Florida, he was also an anchor on Queer News Tonight.
He's a cutie.
He's a little cutie.
Yeah.
He also has a famous brother, whatever. If you've seen the movie Frozen, you've heard his voice. But Jason, yeah, death. You look amazing out there. I've been watching all the clips that he's been posting through there. It's really shaky hands because he's older, so he doesn't know how to like film stuff. But like he's been doing his very best. So I want to give a quick shout out to him.
How come we weren't invited, Bonnie?
Right.
We would have been wrecking stuff.
Well, I'm
there.
busy.
Well,
but,
you need to start. You need to start.
I'm booked and blessed.
I got time. I ain't doing shit, you know? Trini, what's up with you, puppy? What did you think?
Okay, so I caught it kind of on the rerun because I got home late with my family. So when I first saw the Lil John thing, I got worried. I was like, oh my gosh, what are the conservatives going to say about this? They're probably going to dig up some rap shit that's like, he's got this, well, this is what the Democratic Party is about, But it was super charismatic, and I was like, watching it and everything, and I'm like, all right, I hope this translates to votes because I really don't know if it's a great party, but translating to vote, that's the important part
matters.
of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched part of Barack's speech, Michelle's speech, and I was like, man, these are two fucking superstars.
Yeah.
And I was wishing Michelle Obama was the candidate because I love her. She's so intelligent, so articulate, such an empathetic heart. Like I just love her. So the fact that the two of them are stomping so hard for Kamala, I think is fantastic because I think the country loves the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, was America's couple since JFK and Jackie Onassis.
Yes.
Like we just haven't had that kind of couple energy.
Yes.
So contrasted by, where's Melania? It's like, is she alive? Like we know that there is no family values. We know that there's nothing on the other side. That's that. They just have to pretend, right? So I put on Fox News and I was like, let me go do some chores. And I'm like, let me just hear what all the blowback is going to be, right? And I forgot that it was on Fox News because when I'm hearing 5 of them commentate about this, they were saying that the best things about the Democratic convention. They're like, and I was like, I must have turned it to MSNBC
By mistake,
or something, right? They're like, well, what do you think about Michelle Obama? Like, none of them could criticize her. None of them could criticize. They were just saying, well, it was a great night for the Democrats. Like, they really organized it well. The first night, they were just talking about how long it was. They're like, they just can't plan an event. It goes to 11:30. This night, it was like, they were doing such a great job of energizing their base. Trump is gonna have a uphill battle. He's probably coming now from the underdog position. He's gonna have to, but they really just didn't have much to say. There was one anchor on there who was, Botox and looking crazy. She just had a ridiculous look to her, and she was just talking robotically.
That is Baywet.
I was waiting. Who was going to throw the first ball?
And just saying like, well, I didn't really hear anything about policy and which they're going to get to that. It's just the second night, but they really didn't have anything to say, and they actually hyped up the Democratic party planning this whole. So I thought it was that to me was the best indicator that it went really well.
That it was a success.
The opposition who's paid to just dog the Democrats, they really didn't have anything to say.
Right. Only Trini would put Fox News during that, right?
Well,
the rest of us, I'm like, well, what did they say? I was so curious about that. Ty, you were saying?
I was just going to say, interestingly enough, Fox had 3 open spots this morning for pundits.
Ooh, probably. That's
All right.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to Thursday for sure, right? And we'll all be watching, and we'll be bringing you the news here the day after each time.